So I got to go to work in one day in November last year. I was recently demoted from a position I loved. I was previously a team manager working for a popular online college. I was leading a group of workforce analysts, guiding daily activities of the business at a Colorado Springs contact center for an online college. I got demoted back to a position that I excelled in. However, I didn't really feel like I belonged there anymore. I felt like I was moving up in the world. I was getting my degree. I was, moving in the right direction. So one day I just decided, maybe it's time to look for a new job. I liked the company I was with. I liked the people I worked with, but it was time to move on. It was time to excel, make my life better, take the next step in the right direction to success. So as I've been preparing and going towards getting my degree, learning business, learning how businesses work. I thought I had some skills. I'm ready to step out. So really, I polished up my resume, got my LinkedIn hooked up. I started talking to other people, and I moved quickly into applications, learning, or not learning, but filling out applications, getting them submitted. Before I knew it, some of my connections had come back and offered me interviews. So I talked to them. I says, hey, I'd love to talk to you, see about what you had to offer. And pretty soon I was accepting offer letters. We talked about money. We talked about this. We talked about that. We looked at the qualifications. And what's it going to take me to get my job? What do I have to do? No, it's pretty simple. It's a normal thing. Everybody's got to pass a background check, right? Though you can't even get a job anymore without passing a background check. The next thing, drug test. Well, no problem there. I'm ready to go. Drug test clean, background check go. I'm now working for a Fortune 13 company, which is a great thing. I networked, I got in, I did what I had to do to get this job. I'm doing what I have to keep this job. It's a great job. So it seems like that should be a pretty normal course of events, right? That you pass your background check, you pass your drug test, you accept your offer letter, you start working, you start making a little more money, and it's great. So once, well, all of that really just seems normal, right? Seems like that's the normal, seems fair. Nothing too hard to ask. Pass a background check. That's easy enough. Don't be a criminal. Pass a drug test. Okay, I'm not a druggie. So now I've done all that. I've got the qualifications to get the position. I can pay my bills every month. Pretty normal, right? Pretty fair. Nothing too out of the thing. Applaud if you've ever had to apply for a job. Applaud if you've ever had to pass a background check. Applaud if you've ever had to pass a drug test. Okay, so everybody here pretty much has had those things. Let's think for a moment. Does everyone that receives monetary compensation for either work they do or work they should be doing or the advent of looking for work, not advent, but the process of looking for work, do they have to pass a drug test? They don't. Let's use the welfare system. That's my topic tonight is, should we drug test the welfare system? Now, my personal belief, and I'm trying to persuade you to believe the same way I am, is that we should. The answer is that they do not, by and large, have to be drug tested, which is okay. That's the way the government rolls. But I look to change that. And with your support, we could get that changed. People say, well, why do we need to do it? What is the purpose? Who does it benefit? How do we pay for it? Those are all valid questions. Excuse me. That being said, according to brainstrain.com, it's a online statistics website, there are 12.8 million people on the welfare system. Now, that includes everybody from getting food stamps to TANF, which is temporary aid for needy families, and housing assistance, SSI. All of those families have one requirement. You have to be eligible for welfare. Well, one of the welfare requirements is that every able-bodied person, parent and person, has to be able to look for work, train for work, and accept work if it's offered. Now, this was put forth by, I want to say, Bill Clinton in 1996, that says, I think the exact verbiage was, Oh, it's the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act of 1996. It's the most entitlement reform in nation's history because of the core requirement that able-bodied parents eligible for welfare assistance work, search for work, or train for work. Not once since 1996 has Congress passed on this. They want everybody to be able to work. Well, my position, and hopefully yours too, is if they are able to work, the first thing is getting a job. How do we get a job? We have to go and look for jobs. We have to be out there actively canvassing, searching the internet, searching or applying, submitting your applications, and then we have to interview. Once we interview, well, to interview, we have to be able to get up on time. We have to be able to move forward. We have to present ourselves in a way that makes us appealing to the interviewer. Once we pass all of that and we've done our charm and we've made it to the next step, we're going to be passing a background check and a drug test at most establishments. Seems normal? Seems fair, right? Well, if it is, then we should be clean. We should not be on drugs. We should not have traces of drugs in our system. It's illegal to have traces of drugs in your system on a federal level, and it will keep you from getting a job at most places. I say this because, let me back up a little bit. I want to talk about why it's important that we do this. If you randomly drug test the people who are looking for work, who do not have jobs, those asking for monetary assistance, and those needing assistance from us to maintain their livelihoods, they should have the core responsibility of remaining eligible to get a job. The one thing that's required is that you are clean when you go to do your background check. The day you go to do your drug test and background check should not be the day you have to figure out how to become clean, how to become drug-free. Being on welfare or losing your job and then having to be on welfare is a horribly demoralizing and depressing situation. Many doctors, and this is according to WebMD, correlate depression and drug use together. One can cause the other, and they can cause each other, or they can work independently. They both come from what they call external factors. The external factor would be getting laid off, losing a loved one, whatever the situation. Maybe a natural disaster happened and you've lost your home and your family's homeless, whatever it is. Those things can cause depression. Depression leads to drug use. It doesn't happen 100% of the time, but there is a strong correlation between the two. Depression, drug use. Natural events that cause depression cause drug use. In that instance, the idea behind welfare is to get you out of the system, get you back living on your own, get you back into monetary prosperity. And if you are using drugs, you cannot do that. There is a high correlation or a high failure rate of people getting out of welfare that are on drugs. So a lot of people are going to say, how do we pay for this? Well, I don't say that we go and just tax everybody. Let's just do taxes. Give me taxes. Tax money, tax money, tax money, tax money. We're not doing that. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about how to pay for this. I don't think every person on the welfare system should have to be drug tested. One, if you have a job, you're not looking for a job, so you probably don't have to worry about passing a drug test. The other thing is, if you're only getting food stamps, I don't think that is a point where you need to be drug tested. I think if you are in a position where the government and the taxpayers support your livelihood, keep your lights on, keep your house going, keep you getting a monetary stipend every month, you should have to pass a drug test. You are required to be looking for work. If you are required to be looking for work, or if you are just doing like I am, maintaining my life and being clean so I can keep my monetary income, I should have to pass a drug test to be able to keep doing that. Being on drugs is a liability to any company. It's also a liability to the state. If you are consistently on drugs, your life is obviously going in the wrong direction. If it's going in the wrong direction, you're going to be less likely to pull yourself up out of poverty. And that being said, you're going to be a drain on the system for a lot longer. There should be no point at which a taxpayer or business that pays, their share of income taxes has to support a drug user. It's a failing situation. It's an ongoing circle. They will not come out of it until they make a change. Governor Deal of Georgia on April 29th passed a law that says all welfare candidates can be randomly tested for drug abuse. And he put into note that there's a balance between two forces. First is the right of the individual that qualifies to be given assistance in terms of food stamps or whatever. On the other hand, there's the right of the taxpayer that should not be putting money in the hands of those that abuse drugs. Why would we give money to people to violate law and keep themselves in the system of poverty? Welfare is a horrible place to have to be, and we want to pull them out of it. If we can pull the people who are within the welfare system out, that creates prosperity for the nation, it creates prosperity for the individual, and it creates self-esteem for their family and future success. It can change their whole family tree with one generation if we can keep them on the right track. And I say them, I just mean the people who are in the welfare system. It's not a certain class of people, it's just people who have come upon a hard time that we need to help. Now, do you think that they should be drug tested? I have to be drug tested. You have to be drug tested. Our kids have to pass tests if they're on sports. Why shouldn't we be able to drug test the people who receive our hard-earned money, our hard-earned tax money? Benefits. If people randomly get tested, there's a good chance people who know that they'll fail will not get on the welfare system. If they know they're going to fail and they don't get on the welfare system, we save money. People who are on drugs and want to get on the welfare system can seek help. That shows they're willing to help themselves. They're willing to get off the drugs. They're willing to move into a system of prosperity. They're going to lift themselves up because, well, that's what they want to do. There's a benefit. That reduces future costs. And why can't we have the welfare recipient pay for it themselves? Drug tests do not cost that much money. We can spread it out over the first quarter of payments within their welfare money if they pass. If they do not pass, it goes on an account that they still have to pay for. It is a credit-based account. And if they ever wish to obtain welfare, they have to pass the test and add that money to the account. I do not believe that there's a problem here. We can account for the costs. We see benefits. There's almost zero detractors from this, and it improves society and gets people back in the working force. Let me know what you think. Do you have any questions? No? Super. All right. Well, you guys have a good day. I'm going to let you go. Think about what I said, and when it comes up to vote to drug testing. Seems normal. We all have to get drug tested to keep our jobs. Welfare recipients should have to get drug tested to receive their funds. You have a great night. We'll talk to you later.